7 ways to create more accountability. Don't you love that employee who goes above and beyond? The employee that takes responsibility, shows initiative, and really owns their projects, processes, and problems. Somewhere along the line, this employee learned that good things happen when you're accountable. But it's largely up to you, the boss, to be sure he or she doesn't have a change of heart. But you say accountability is intrinsic. You can't force people to be accountable. True, but we learn from the people around us. When the work environment is designed for accountability, it will flourish. When it's not, you get stellar work from a few people until they stop making the effort. Those employees that hold themselves accountable when others are allowed to squander typically get burned out and leave. An accountable workplace won't appear overnight, but the right elements must be in place. Where do you need to invest your time and attention to build an environment of accountability? Number 1, clear roles, team leadership, and individual ownership. People struggle to be accountable when roles and processes are ambiguous. Removing as much confusion as possible about who is doing what and how they will proceed is an important step. If a team is truly accountable, members will identify gaps, learn new roles and processes, and ultimately build a more capable team. Number 2, a sense of ownership for team results. How does team accountability work? Focus on team processes. How is the team working toward goals and outcomes? Are team members effective? Do they feel 100% accountable to improving the process? Each member should have the obligation to seek information, give and receive feedback, and point out the need for corrective action at any time. Number 3, freedom. Support and control to navigate competing priorities. Most problems have multiple right answers, so give people the freedom and control they need to make decisions. The first solutions your teams and direct reports come up with will probably be pretty good. Improve upon them instead of inserting your own. Support is the key. Be sure people have the resources, knowledge, and assistance they need. With this approach, team members increase their skill, confidence, and ownership. Number 4, it's not about punishment. If your goal in fostering accountability is to know who to punish when revenue targets are not met or budgets are missed, you will only succeed in creating fear. No one will be willing to step up, speak out, or try something new. Innovation and risk-taking will be lost. Once the rumor mill of an organization circulates a story of someone stepping out and being punished, hundreds, even thousands of employees will be skittish about taking initiative to find new solutions. Number 5, it's about improvement. Accountability is the foundation for creating a learning organization. If you want sustainable, high-quality processes, you need to be able to see what's working and what isn't and analyze the cause. To that end, each person needs to honestly say what they knew, what they thought, and what they did or didn't do. One important thing you can do to support a learning atmosphere is to take a systems approach as well as holding individuals accountable. Seek to understand what aspects of the situation have influenced the process, system, culture, or circumstances. Number 6, the expectation of evaluation. In accountable organizations, no one expects to stay under the radar. In fact, people seek feedback because they know it is intended to improve the process and add to their knowledge. These organizations use multiple forms of feedback and evaluation to assess the health and success of a manager, processes, or departments. Organizations lacking multiple feedback mechanisms only discover shortcomings when it's too late. Number 7, integrity counts. People are called out if they don't do what they say they will do. When anyone falls short, they admit it and work to improve. Someone consistently falling short? A sure sign of low commitment and a clue that something is missing in your culture of accountability. Take it upon yourself first to hold yourself accountable, and second, hold those around you accountable for top performance. Without leadership accountability or an understanding of how to hold others accountable, implementing good ideas and best practices can stop cold. Have you ever heard somebody say this around your organization? We're great at innovating and planning, but our follow-through stinks. A former client of ours, whom we'll call George, knows exactly what that statement means. George was thriving as a vice president of operations at a flagship hospital for a large health system. However, in his prior leadership role at another organization, he watched even the best plans and practices fail to get implemented. There, leadership was frustrated with the lack of accountability throughout the organization, yet in executive team meetings, the group focused on putting out fires, and high-level strategy was rarely discussed. When businesses and financial goals weren't met, the fingers started to point. All eyes were on the CEO to do something. He didn't hold others accountable. The accountability belonged to him, period. The CEO made a concerted effort, everything from retreats to personality testing, to turn the ship, to get leadership to come together and lead. Nothing, however, seemed to change. Then the lights turned on, at least for George. Through his personal work, he was able to see what was really going on. He did not hold himself or his colleagues accountable. George came to realize that he confused accountability with authority. He wasn't in control, the CEO was, and that meant he wasn't accountable. In other words, George viewed accountability as a zero-sum game. If one person was accountable for a situation or a result, then everyone else wasn't. He also admitted that personal accountability, answering for the outcomes of his own choices, actions, and behaviors, required courage. In the days and weeks ahead, George took several steps to shift his understanding of accountability. He stopped employing an accountability as a hammer approach and started engaging himself and his colleagues in owning the results of their leadership, good or bad, right up front. George also ceased pointing fingers and assigning blame. Instead, when troubles arose, he took it to himself first, and he looked at himself first. Consistently, he asked 4 specific questions. What is the problem? What am I doing or not doing to contribute to the problem? What will I do differently to help solve the problem? And how will I be accountable for the result? Additionally, in leadership meetings, he stopped making excuses and took the fall when his choices caused difficulty. The changes didn't stop with him either. The CEO, along with George's peers and direct reports, caught on quickly, and soon, accountability was being demonstrated throughout the organization. As a result, many began working smarter, faster, and better, and the bottom line revealed a newfound success. Here are the 7 key morals of this story. Number 1, acknowledge that you can't mandate accountability. You can only demonstrate it. Number 2, determine what a lack of accountability is really costing your organization. Number 3, assess barriers to accountability within leadership, such as infighting or power struggles, and set expectations. Number 4, get educated on accountability and develop a common understanding and vocabulary and a set of tools and techniques. Number 5, make clear agreements for accountability and discuss consequences up front. Number 6, commit to calling out a lack of accountability. 7, communicate a top-down accountability message to the organization and live it.